You already know the songs. You've seen the concepts, the videos, the blonde Marilyn hair. But there's a part of I-DLE most people scroll right past. Talk about I-DLE, and the conversation lands in the same spots every time. Soyeon wrote it. The concept had a point. The video hit a reference you had to look up. That's how the group gets discussed. The idea first, the meaning second, the sound somewhere after that. And it makes total sense. Their concepts are loud. A group of showgirls playing Marilyn. 5 women in matching wigs locked into one white room. A Ken doll poisoned and dumped in a trunk. Stuff like that pulls your eyes to the screen and keeps them there. When the concept is that strong, the concept is what people carry home. Which leaves one part of the group buried under everything else. The stage. The performance turns into the thing playing behind the idea, the part you half-watch while you read up on what the song is about. Most coverage treats it the same way. The music video gets the full breakdown. The live stage gets a passing mention. Here's what that misses. Put I-DLE in front of a real crowd, with the video gone and the concept stripped down to 5 people and a mic, and you get a different group than the one on your phone. Bigger, rougher, harder to look away from. That version rarely makes the headlines, but it's the version worth talking about. Go back to 2019. I-DLE were rookies, barely a year in, and Mnet dropped them onto Queendom, a show that stacked them against groups with years of history. Every stage was a fight for position. Soyeon wrote Lion for that show. The song came out on streaming first, on October 25, a quiet release meant to pull in points before the finale. It charted low. Nothing special. Then came the stage. On October 31, at the Queendom finale, they built the whole thing around a throne. Gold frames, a deep red backdrop, the members staring the camera down like they'd already won the round. It blew up overnight, and the song that had barely charted a week earlier came roaring back up the real-time charts. The music video only dropped after that, once the demand was already there. The stage is what made the song. Then there's the one only the real ones bring up. My Bag. It's a B-side. One of the tracks on the I Never Die album, the one built around Tomboy. On paper, it's a throwaway, the kind of song most groups bury and never perform. Soyeon did something else with it. She handed all 5 members a rap verse, 8 bars each, written to fit their personality. Hearing the vocalist rap at all felt new, and Miyeon's verse especially caught people off guard. She rapped it fast enough that the part blew up on its own. Clips spreading with fans surprised the group's main vocalist could go that hard. The song ended up climbing higher than any B-side they had released. Live is where it became something bigger. It turned into one of the parts of the set people wait for. Soyeon rapping her verse with the mic held upside down became a whole thing fans clip and pass around. On tour, the members turned the dance break into a running joke, competing over who could do the hip shake part the best. A buried album track that became one of their most loved stages, off nothing but how they performed it. If you had to pick one song that just sounds like I-DLE being I-DLE, it's this one. It fits them like nothing else in the catalog. That's the pattern. A lot of idol songs only finish once you watch them do it in front of a crowd. The recording is the sketch. The stage is the real thing. A big concept can carry a 3-minute video. It can't carry a 2-hour concert. That part comes down to whether the group can actually perform, night after night, with nothing to hide behind. I-DLE can. Miyeon came up as a trainee at YG and almost debuted with Blackpink, and she sings live the way you'd hope a main vocalist would. High notes held while she's moving, no track doing the work for her. Fans have a running habit of pointing out the moments her mic is clearly on, and she's still hitting everything because it happens often enough to be its own kind of proof. Then there's the way they split the show. This is where the group nobody watches shows up. On their 2024 Idol World Tour, they gave each member her own moment, and everyone leaned on a real skill. Soyeon ran her own solo rap set, owning the floor the way she owns the writing. Miyeon went up on a lift in the middle of the floor and sang a full ballad, Sky Walking, by herself. Minnie got strapped onto a moon-shaped lift and sang while hanging in the air above the crowd. Yuqi rode a shopping cart across the stage for her song Radio. Shuhua took on Tyla's Water as a dance solo. 5 people, 5 different things they're each good at, all in one night. They build the group stages the same way. Their first world tour ran in themed sections. A loud rock block where they tore across the stage non-stop. A slower section pulled from traditional Korean sounds, dancers moving under a giant shifting moon. These are full shows with an arc, not a playlist performed in order. That's the part a phone screen can't show you. A clean video hides how hard 2 hours on that stage actually is, and it can't drop you into the middle of the crowd. At their shows, the members cut the music and point the mic at the floor, and the whole room takes over the song. Oh, that's this boy that I know. It made my heart beat at radio. During Yuki's solo, she points the mic out at the audience and lets the whole room take the chorus. That version only exists in that room, that night. Your phone plays the same file every time, but a stadium sounds different every night. The real test isn't your home crowd in Korea, it's everywhere else. Rooms full of people who have plenty of other groups to care about. I-DLE keep landing in those rooms and keep leaving a mark. This year, they became the first K-pop girl group to perform at the Taipei Dome, a venue most groups never get near. Their 4th world tour, Syncopation, ran through Seoul, Taipei, Bangkok, and more, at the kind of scale that used to belong to the big label groups. On July 31, they play Lollapalooza in Chicago, a festival crowd that didn't buy a ticket for them specifically. And here's the detail that ties the whole thing together. Their new single, Crow, the lead-in to the album landing July 6, was written back in 2021. That was the lowest point they had. Down a member, stuck in a long stretch with no promotions, plenty of people expecting them to quietly disappear. Soyeon wrote Crow in the middle of it. A crow usually shows up as a bad sign, and she turned it into a song about surviving anyway. They performed it live in Seoul in February, months before the music video, months before you could stream a single second of it. Think about what that means. Most groups record a song, polish it, drop the video, then perform it once it's already in your ears. I-DLE flipped the order. They put an unreleased song in front of a stadium and let a live crowd hear it first, with nothing between the audience and the song but the stage. By the time the rest of us got Crow on our phones in June, A room full of people had already lived it. That's the most honest thing you can know about this group. They trust the stage before they trust the release. I-DLE built their name on ideas. The concepts, the writing, the meaning stitched into every comeback. That's the part the internet clipped and argued over, and it's a big reason they got this far. But the ideas were always half the story. The other half was 5 people who could walk onto a stage and make the song hit harder than the version sitting in your library. Lion proved it when they were rookies. My Bag proved it with a throwaway B-side. Crow proved it before the song even came out. So the next time a comeback drops and everyone rushes to break down what it means, do one thing. Find the live stage. Watch them do it in front of a crowd. That's where I-DLE actually lives.